older, right?
Think all the stimulus from the birthday's getting to you.
Oh, look, happy birthday balloon.
Yeah.
Happy birthday, happy birth. Good heavens, I'm having a birthday.
Yeah, happy birthday.
Oh, wow.
All right.
88. And both of my parents passed away when they were 70.
Wow.
And I am so lucky because I dreaded when I turned 70.
Hmm.
I thought, okay, I'm going to go too, you know. But I'm beating them.
So much for genetics, right?
Yes. That's true. That's true.
But I think everyone, when I brought this up to somebody yesterday and said, and Barbara's so active in the community still and so engaged in trying to do good things for Santa Clarita Valley. And you're well known for that. And it's just wonderful. I think a lot of people out there on the air and in Santa Clarita land just want to wish you a big, big happy birthday.
Yes, so many people have. Oh, my goodness. I've had so many telephone calls, you know, and texts. Happy birthday. And it's wonderful. But I'm so happy I'm 88
Yeah.
and still going strong. Or
It's
as
good
strong
to
as
be
I
here.
can.
And look at you. You're trying to copy me. You're not even sitting for the show. I am honored and impressed. This is.
Well, I won't sit for long.
Okay.
I won't stand for long.
Oh, you won't stand for it, huh?
No,
All
won't
right.
stand for long. Oh, my
And
goodness.
why are you standing and why should I be standing?
I think
You've
everybody
written
should be
about
standing.
this.
Yeah, I think everybody should be standing for something. I mean, so the Surgeon General, you know, the cigarette guy, like literally C. Everett Koop, who was responsible for putting that slogan on the pack, on every pack of cigarettes. He says that sitting kills more people than cigarettes ever did.
Wow.
So from that guy, that's a pretty hefty statement. So I'm going to take it to heart and stand more. Yeah. Wow. Got to stand for something.
I've never heard that before.
Yeah. Yeah. Surgeon General's warning is now sitting kills more people than cigarettes. Yeah.
All right.
There we go.
Here we
Everybody.
go. Everyone's standing up. Even Jen's standing up.
I
You got
used
me.
to- I
Let's do
used-
it.
I used to smoke, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh.
So you're just out to prove me wrong about everything, aren't you? The ice cream diet. I smoke and sit around, and I don't care. I eat ice
Oh, I
cream
don't
every night.
smoke anymore.
Okay.
I haven't smoked since 1984.
All right. Well, that's a good start.
So,
All right.
yeah. Russ and I both went through the Schick Center.
The what?
Schick?
Okay. I thought we were going to have to dump you for a second there. Yeah.
What did you think I said?
Well, you know.
What is a Schick Center?
Well, I don't know whether it's still around or not, but it was a place that you could go and you'd have to smoke and smoke and smoke and smoke.
Until it turned green.
And every time you would inhale, they would zap you.
Ah. Clockwork Orange. I love it.
And
Is
yeah,
that still
Did they-
legal?
Did they
Wow.
make you watch dirty movies while you were doing that? Is it-
No, but I was able to read. They said,
okay.
bring a book, or we have magazines for you.
Yeah.
But I had to sit there and smoke
Yeah.
and smoke, and I had to smoke 3 cigarettes.
Was it like a good jolt? I mean, did it make you
yeah,
jump?
Well, it was a jolt, but after you took each drag on the cigarette, you wouldn't take as heavy a one.
Ah,
You know, it kind of, I don't want this to happen again.
I love it.
But they kept me. I don't know whether that organization is
I doubt it.
around.
I don't think that's around
because
anymore.
that place was full.
Yeah.
It took me 3 months, Russ and I, 3 months to get an appointment.
Uh-huh. All right.
Well, back then, you know, there was a lot more smoking
Mm-hmm.
than there is now.
Yeah.
I think people finally got wind of the fact that that's not healthy,
Uh,
you know. But I started smoking when I was 14,
yeah.
and I had to hide
Ah.
my parents. I didn't want them to know. And I would get my mother's perfume, and I'd put it all over me so they wouldn't smell the smoke.
Whatever it takes, Barb.
Well, yeah, it took the Schick Center because Russ and I both tried to do it on our own. But it's very hard to do. Once you're addicted to something that strong. You know, it's hard to get away from that addiction.
Yep. So vape instead, right? Don't vape. I'm sorry.
No, what I don't know what that is.
Yeah,
other
good.
Than you see a container and somebody's sucking something out of it.
Yeah. It's all insanity. But can we get to Kevin? You're here
We don't
representing.
Have we don't have vaping at the senior center.
No
much. We have
vaping.
cigarette,
Oh,
few cigarette
I'm
smokers
out.
for our small lounge,
Okay.
but not really vaping. That's the next generation, maybe.
Okay.
It's
All right.
good.
So Kevin, what's going on over there at Senior Center?
A lot going on. We just finished a great run. We had a tribute band to John Denver come as a fundraiser.
Your favorite?
Yes, and Jim Curry's his name, and he's fantastic, and he keeps touring the country. But we had almost 300 people in our ballroom. Jim played for an hour and a half, raised over $10,000.
I love
and
that.
a simple night with appetizers by Cindy Smith and Chef Marco Rios, and we just had a grand night, and people
awesome.
got to hang out with each other.
Yeah.
And sitting at a table and just enjoying some good music. Even if you're not a big John Denver fan, you know all the songs.
Right. Everybody.
And it was
knows the
really a way
songs,
just
yeah.
to bring people together and
I
to
love it.
support us. And we charged a little bit more. Our usual concert is $10. We charged up to $60, and they paid for it because they wanted to support the center.
Yeah.
So we were just
Perfect.
thrilled. It was just a fun night. And we keep having those fun nights every single month at the Senior Center. And we're bringing Linda Ronstadt in November. So it's a tribute band, and she's fantastic. We've had her before. And then we're bringing the Beach Boys for our Christmas concert. It's tradition.
Perfect.
And they're local. It's a local group that does the Beach Boys. And for $10, you come and hang out with some nice people.
Nice.
Get a little food and just enjoy company.
So that almost brings us to the end of the year. You got something going on for New Year's Eve?
Nothing for New Year's Eve yet. We're still planning New Year's Eve.
Okay.
So we'll see what happens
Well,
there.
that's a little way off.
Yeah,
yet.
it's a little ways
Yeah,
off.
but
So
we
let's
are-
talk about what's coming up next.
Boy, there's a lot coming up. I do want to, before I forget, we had a resource fair. We brought in 30 vendors.
Right.
And they gave the seniors so many resources. That was just last week. And Assemblymember Pilar and Senator Scott Wilk put this on for us. And they brought in the big shots from around the county and around the state to give seniors resources. So we're really fortunate. People are supporting the senior center and also giving us the resources.
So tell me a little bit about what resources. What do you mean? I know who Shalar and Wilk are. There
Right.
are senators, yeah?
Right, Senator and Assemblywoman.
Yeah.
But what they brought in was Department of Insurance came in,
Hmm.
Financial Protection came in, and we had State Department and County Department after County Department to give people information. We had one highlight was Scam Stoppers.
Yeah.
And we had a whole session for an
that's
hour
huge.
on scamming, and
Yeah.
we took one of the presenters that came, and she's coming back in 2 weeks
Yep.
to give another presentation about what not to do. And
Yep.
I sat in the back of the room for that session and just listened, and her biggest thing was stop, don't do anything,
Yep.
and then call a friend before you
Exactly.
take any action,
Yeah,
or
phone a
before
friend.
you return a phone call,
Yep.
or before you open a text that you
Yep.
don't know,
Yep.
or an email. And she says it's really just that common sense of saying, don't take action, just stop.
Right.
Stop and think and call a friend before you do anything, and it'll save you for the rest of your life about being scammed.
That's right.
And
that's
so one added layer of protection that actually Miles brought up last time he was here is have a code word, a password that you do not talk about on the phone. You do not send in an email, but personally with your circle of
Right.
people, you make sure that everybody knows the code word. So this way, if you get that call, because I work with AI all the time, and I have purposely cloned my voice so that it can have a conversation without me having to be involved,
Okay.
right? So the technology is easily there. Like nobody can tell the difference that it's not me, right? So it's there, it's easy. But the AI, unless you tell it, will never in Walmart.
Right.
Walmart
It
credit.
happened to my aunt.
Yeah,
Same-
it
same
happens all the time.
conversation.
It happens all the time. I get hit with stuff that really looks legitimate. I mean, really seems legitimate. So if I'm even questioning it, I mean, it's bad. It's bad out there. So
But
thank
he's
you
right
for
about
thank you for having
a
that.
family code word,
Yeah,
and it
yeah.
shouldn't be your dog's name. It should be something. But you're right. You need to share that offline to
Yep.
make sure who you're talking to and if they're really in trouble or not.
Yeah.
But anyway, they're coming back to the senior center to
Awesome.
do another presentation on November 6th. So check our website for that. Her name is Sally, and she's fantastic. But that's what the resources were brought to us. Our seniors enjoyed And there's just so many resources just in this valley, so we're really happy to share. From everything from your trash with Burtech to Edison was there to the city transportation was there, and we're going to do it again next year. 'Cause we're having
Perfect.
a lot of
Like,
fun.
so is it already on the books? When can?
It'll be next October again. We're doing it
oh,
every
that
October,
far away. Okay.
and if we can do it, we'll do it every 6 months.
So let me ask you this. I know you stream. You do you stream the classes, right?
We're just starting to stream our classes by Zoom.
Right.
Yeah.
And is there any chance of having like these events, saved for
Yes.
posterity and restreaming?
Yes, and then we're going to be putting them on our website in a special library. Yeah,
Perfect,
because,
perfect.
like I said, the person who talked about the scam, she's coming back November 6th. We'll have her on Zoom, so that'll be both live and
Awesome.
then in our library people can access.
Yeah.
So we're thrilled.
Well,
Brilliant.
the other thing too is you offer so many classes in so many different subjects and areas. Plus, you have a fantastic gym there. Where seniors can go in and get on that bike and pedal away like crazy. Or getting the dumbbells and exercising with them. It's a well-equipped senior center.
Yeah, and
It
Barbara,
really
you're
is.
right, because up to 50 people a day are taking advantage of that gym and going in there. And what we're going to offer now is we see the interest level just spiking.
Yep.
And to use free weights the right way, to use cardio the right way. So we're going to bring a couple instructors in to give some basics 101 because, lifting in the old days of gathering strength is different when you're 30 compared
Yeah.
when you're 70 or 80 and what you
Yes,
should
that-
and shouldn't be doing.
That's right.
And we really do need to give the seniors those resources because they want to be fit.
Sure.
And I was just in the gym saying hello to everybody before I came over here, and I just want them to do the right thing.
Yeah.
And for their
and not
long-term
injure
health.
themselves.
Right, and they've been
Because
pretty
you-
good without any injuries because we tell them this is not. I don't want you sweating in the hallways. I want you to get a
Right.
good light workout, but do something as you
Yeah.
do, Barbara. You're always doing something with our bodies to keep it moving.
Yeah,
Form is
absolutely.
everything.
You have
Yeah.
to. You have to keep moving. And because I go out and walk every morning. Go outside and walk. It was a little chilly this morning, but it was still a good walk,
Yep.
And our sit and be fit classes, which is both sitting and standing, they were sold out today. We had a waiting list because they took over one room. Then we Zoomed all the other participants into another room, so they filled another room out. We needed a third room for that class. That's how popular the class is. Everyone wants to get their exercise in before they have lunch with us.
Yeah. Smart.
So it's
yeah.
kind of fun to watch it all go.
Yeah. Great.
So, one thing I can tell you that I was at the resource fair and a couple of people came up to me. They said, well, we heard your funding was cut at the end of June, July.
Yeah.
Has it been restored? And the answer is no one has missed a meal yet. So what we want to share with the community is we have our meals. Meals on Wheels, we still have openings for Meals on Wheels. Our dining hall is open. We can still accept more people there and our to-goes. So we have meals at the senior center. It never stopped because we were able to bridge a gap in the last minute. And we're still trying to secure funding for the rest of the year, but it's looking positive right now. But our meals are available for seniors 60 and over. So if anyone needs one or they need socialization, to come by and enjoy the ballroom. We had 402 people in the ballroom yesterday get fed.
That's
And
awesome.
It's and Meals on Wheels is at 490 people getting Meals on Wheels. And the more we get the word out, we really, really don't want to miss anybody in this community.
Thank
someone
you.
who's homebound.
And I really want to thank you, Kevin, because I know you will never take credit for this, but you performed a small miracle in keeping the whole place running through all of that.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you. We got a lot of support from county and Stephanie English with Supervisor Barger's office is always rooting for us, and we're going to try to make it through the year.
Yeah.
So we just want people to know the meals are there, and if you need it, come on by and enjoy some
And
time
the
with
meals are delicious. 'Cause I eat there every Tuesday.
us. I know you
I
do.
love it, yes. And I have them delivered on a Monday and a Friday at home. And the meals are delicious. They really are. It's very seldom that I'll open it up and say, "Ew, no, I don't want that." That may have happened a couple of times since I've been doing it.
Okay, Barb, didn't necessarily need to share that piece of information.
Thanks, Barbara. We'll see what we have on Tuesdays. And our executive chef.
We're
Chef
making
Mark,
something special for you next time, Barb.
I don't know when you steal the chef from UCLA and Marco Rios comes in, and then Cindy Smith, who's local, she comes in. We got good stuff coming out. So
Awesome.
I'm looking forward to getting back after this is over and go getting a meal
Awesome.
for the rest of the day. So
Yeah. Yeah, that's what you got to take advantage of the benefits where you can. So what else? So okay, so as you said, was it June? You got some funding surprises, right? So what are you doing to keep the place going? How can the community support you? What's your next fundraiser?
Well, the next fundraiser is coming up. That's our annual appeal campaign, our annual beg letter, as I call it. It goes out on Thanksgiving week through the end of the year, December 31st, and that is our largest fundraiser by far, and least expensive for us, is to send a letter out to you and your family asking them for support, and that's the time of the year to do it. We also have different mediums if you can provide support to us, but it keeps our meals programs going, it keeps that gym going, keeps all the activities going, and it really just supports a nonprofit that I have to raise about $900,000 a year to break even.
Right.
And that's the nature of the business that we're all in.
Yeah.
And that's okay. We just got to spread the word.
Okay, great. And so in between now and Thanksgiving, is there any other way that we can support you?
So much more going on. Well, just know Circle of Hope is having their big fundraiser this weekend, so we're happy to host them at Bella Vita in the Grand Ballroom.
Nice.
That they're going to be there.
Is that the tea?
That's the tea.
All
Yes,
right,
it'll be at Bella Vita.
Yeah.
So we're happy they're renting it from us, and we love their cause. We're honoring veterans in November with Veterans Day coming up, so we have different activities for veterans. And then we have our big feast on Thanksgiving in November. So we have a lot going on. Check out our website for everything you need to keep it. So many different activities.
And what's that website?
myscvcoa.org. myscvcoa.org.
Okay.
And don't worry, we're going to be changing the name of it.
Okay.
You got it. It's my Santa Clarita Valley Committee on Aging.org. That's how the origin of it.
All right.
Committee on Aging, yes.
And so, Barb, what's the phone number?
661-259-9444.
I didn't hear you.
661-259-9444.
Beautiful.
Whoa.
Thank you, birthday girl.
Happy birthday. Happy birthday,
Thank
Barbara.
you, Kevin,
Thank you.
for everything you're doing
Thank you.
over at the Senior Center. You've been listening to Senior Hour KHTS FM 98.1 AM 1220, hometownstation.com.
Welcome back to the Senior Hour. I'm Barbara Cochran with my co-host, Dr. Thomas Pilecki, on your hometown station, 98.1 FM, AM 1220 KHTS. And we're speaking with Kevin
McDonald, my old friend.
He had a farm, E-I-E-I-O.
I guess that's what happens as you get older, isn't it? You forget things. I've forgotten more things today
Yeah.
than I have in ages.
That's all right.
It's a birthday
You're
getting
allowed.
to you, Barbara. You're
Yeah.
overstimulated today, Barbara.
I'm 1 year older, too.
That's right.
That's all right. I'll keep going. 88, double eight.
Uh-huh.
Double eight. Wow.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Any way you
Kevin,
slice it, it comes
Ke-
up
Yeah, it does.
2 ways. Yeah. All right.
Okay, what are we going to talk about now, sir?
So, Kevin,
Yes.
I want to take the reins on this.
All right, go
so
for it. Whatever doctor wants, I'll try to answer.
I have some burning questions I need to know. One is, how do you keep that place going with everything, all the challenges that you faced, particularly this year, above all others? I mean, the pandemic was bad enough, but this time you had the rug pulled out from under you and you still kept the doors open. So I want to know about that. What specifically do you do over there? And there's a stigma to senior centers because I've been at senior centers before, and you're doing something completely different over there that someone who's never been there would have no idea of why they should even want to show up there, right? So if we can get those three things in this segment, I'd love to know it all.
Okay. I think, going back a little bit, because you want to go back to where we started. We started in Newhall at the old Market Street, and the county gave us a little building
Yeah, right up the
40 years
street
ago.
here.
Yep,
Yeah.
40 years ago.
Oh, my goodness.
And the seniors started to outgrow that. And I came on just as they're at the end of their reign of habitating there. And when I was offered the job, it was like, okay, we're going to close this senior center and we're going to open up a new one, but we have to raise a whole bunch of money and we have to build this.
Sure.
And we want it to be different. We want it to be different than any other senior center in the country. And we're going to be creative
Well,
with
it
it.
is,
And it's
so
not going to be
you did
your
it.
grandfather's senior center.
Right.
And thus we started building and then at the same time being creative with programming. So like I said, getting over that fear of this is not a senior citizens' home. It's not really even a senior center. It's a country club for seniors.
Really is.
And that's what we built it around, and we built the finances around it. We built the staff. I have 120 staff. They're fantastic. I have the best leadership team I've ever put together in my career right now. They're that good. And then I have the volunteer corps, 220 volunteers working so hard. As we're talking here, I have 20 volunteers working. I have 20 volunteers that just finished delivering meals today in the Meals on Wheels program. So when you say why it's a success, you add it to the staff, the volunteers, the board of directors, which gives us flexibility to move forward and doesn't hold us back. And we're so grateful for Bonnie and the team that we have as a board of directors, that it empowers us to go do our thing and then supports us in so many ways throughout the year. So that combination really helps a nonprofit to go.
Yeah.
But then our ultimate...
That in itself is an amazing feat, getting the right team together. I always know the power of a leader by how smoothly things run when they don't have to be in the moment-to-moment decision-making process.
Mm-hmm. And, with anything with human resources, people tell you, try to recruit the best people, and you just cross your fingers at the end. You hope you hired that right person. And we've hit it time after time again. But I think the reason we've hired well is because they want to do this for a living. They want to serve seniors. Their passion and their mission is to make life better for somebody else. And you can't hire that. You can do the interview and you hope that's going to happen. But when they come out of it with that passion, everything from Suzanne Nelson, who's been with us for 37 years, to our youngest leaders, and we have a great group of young people coming up through the ranks, and they're going to be our leaders of the future. And it's exciting to sit and watch this happen.
Nice. Very cool.
So I think one thing, and let me walk you through a day, because it's intimidating. I talked to a guy at lunch the other day. He says, I wasn't going to come here, Kevin. And he's the guy who was working out in the gym. He said, why would I come here?
Right.
And then he said, I came here, and I went to your fitness center, and then I went to lunch, and I started talking with some buddies. I come here 3 times a week now. I said, because you get your socialization, you have a purpose to do something, and you got friends, and you get a meal. On top of that. And, that's when we call it the country club. As you walk in the door, you're going to get that warm greeting. It's like walking into the Hilton with our big entryway, and we have 3 staff that are willing to meet you, and whatever you need for that day, we'll give you a smile. They know almost everybody's name when you came in. And that's that warm, welcoming feeling. And what are you here for today? I want to sit out in the lounge in the morning. I want to read a book. I want to look at the TV for a little bit as the morning gets going. And then the classes start at 8:30. And they are going through the class, and they're running down activity row, trying to get into a class. And then we have these instructors that we brought on, and they've been same instructors pretty much for at least 5 years now. And they love working with the seniors and keep them active. They believe in activity. They believe in strength. They believe in some endurance. They believe in making a combination for someone who needs to sit in a chair or in their wheelchair. Everybody's welcome into their classrooms. And they just go, go, go. And all we do is hear them shouting and yelling and doing their stretch bands and their balls. I don't even know exactly what's happening, but they do it. And they're really good instructors who really want to help the seniors. And that's the popularity of that coming through. So I'm hanging out in the lounge. I'm going there. I'm going out in the courtyard. And then you go to your next class, and multiple classes, everything from Tai Chi. Today we have health and wellness today, every Wednesdays at 1. And they're going to go into Medicare and some of the changes coming up in that. So you're going to get a little education at the same time. So you can do that. And then starting from 10:30 to 1, you can go to the ballroom. And the grand ball, we call it the grand, as in grandma, grandpa, get it? Anyway, we call it the grand. And you can go in there to a beautiful ballroom, still as beautiful as day one, get served a delicious meal, hang out with some people. And we also have people making sure you feel comfortable there, too. We have music in the background. We got a piano player, Joe plays on Tuesdays. John plays on Fridays with his band. And just a nice, comfortable environment. And you can stay for 10 minutes, or you can stay for an hour and a half. It doesn't matter to us. And then
you don't have to turn tables there.
Well, we want people to keep moving because we're serving over 400 people in that grand ballroom every day. So we have room for 337 according to fire code. So someone's got to turn over sooner or later.
Yeah.
But you very seldom are able to find an empty table.
Right.
Yeah.
Which is
Very
nice
seldom.
because if you want to, you can meet people. And sometimes with the process, as we get older and we lose our friends or our friends move, who is new can I meet? And I think we all struggle with that in our different seasons of our lives about meeting people. And this is just a heaven for that. And like I said, the classes are a means to do that. And if you're coming in and you're struggling with Medicare, or you're struggling with, I need help at my home doing something, or I need help with a technical issue as becoming a senior, you walk upstairs and we have a team of counselors. and the greeters right there, Amy and Shannon greet you. They take care of you, what your issues are, and then they hook you up with a counselor. So long term, you can have someone to talk to, and this is all for free. And then if you want to, there's different
Well,
support.
it's
Go ahead.
it's free to utilize,
It's
but
free to
nothing's ever
Oh,
free.
no,
Nothing's
it costs us $11 million to run that place every year. Thank you very much. Yes, it does. It's free for the seniors. The cost is high.
Yeah.
Because these are professionals that are
Yeah.
working with you every day.
And if you think about it, if you were to try to access any aspect of what you're providing at no charge to people, any one of those things would add up very, very quickly to a place where nobody could afford to do what you're providing at no charge.
Right. And we are supported through the Older Americans Act from the federal government. It winds its way through the county, and we get funded through there. So that's our support. But I'll tell you, that's what we talked earlier. We have to raise almost $1 million a year just to provide all these services. So yeah, the cost is high. And but our mission is we want to serve the seniors, and we hope the money figures itself out because we need to keep going and doing this stuff. So when you're going to the social workers and you're doing support groups or working with a counselor, and then you might say, I need a handy worker at my home. Well, go to the handy worker office, and they can work with you there. And they have a lot of qualifications, but we have a team of 4 handy workers, and they fix up homes, they fix up ramps, they fix bathrooms, and it has to be seniors who are low income, so lots of qualifications, and it has to be your own home. But it's another great service. We've had a lot of it funded through the city of Santa Cruz.
You got to be kidding me. So that is no charge service?
Right. If you meet the qualifications, and again, it's funded through the federal government. This time it winds its way through the city of Santa Cruz, which offers this great service. So we are
That's insane.
fortunate to have option. And then the other thing, which is kind of a hidden secret, though the waiting list is still long there, is our adult day program. So we have a respite program. You can drop off your loved one for up to 4 hours a day with us.
So I got a question.
Go ahead,
I
back
got a
up.
question. At what level of functionality does that senior have to be for the respite care?
More folks who have been diagnosed with Alzheimer's, but we're not a nursing facility. So we're
Right.
kind of at the beginning stages to middle of Alzheimer's, and a person can be to give the loved ones a break.
Sure.
And we have a great team of professionals in there, and they have a great time with everybody for 4 hours. They have the same lunch that we do, and they do different activities. And we're expanding that program. So again, there's such a big need out there,
It's
and that's
huge.
that's
It's growing
one
all
part
the
of the
time,
senior
too.
center no one will ever see because it's part of a licensed program. So it's in a
Yeah.
different corner of the senior center.
Yeah.
But again, another service to all those families.
Outstanding.
So many. When you add it all up, you can take advantage of 19 different programs and services.
Wow.
So, and then how do we put it together? And it's a combination of federal money and a little bit of state money and county support, and the county kind of administers and supports us in many ways. So we have probably 15 buckets of
Yeah.
different funding streams that come in, and then the biggest one we have to count on is community support and our fundraising, because the federal government will only give you so much, and we're okay with that. We believe they need to help us out, but not fully, and they want to know that the community supports us, and that's been happening kind of since day one. The people have been bucking up from building to building. We had 1,000 individual donors. I mean, that's just from this community. And through the year, I bet you we have close to another 1,000 coming in every year just to support us. And whether it's $5 or $100, it just keeps us going. And you can see the end result.
Yeah.
And that's a nice thing. It's like, I'm gonna make an investment, right? I'm gonna
Right.
give you some money. What's gonna happen with it? Come and walk in, come in the door.
Yeah,
And-
you have no idea where your money is going when it's halfway across the world, but this is right here in town, and you can see exactly where your money is going.
And people are getting fed who need to be fed, and people are getting cared for. We had a situation yesterday. Somebody called me and said, I need resources. I said, let me give you the best in the business. And her name is Suzanne Nelson. And we gave her, and that's still working its way through because they needed some emergency stuff happening.
Yeah.
And that's the joy and why we do what we do. So I sit back and just watch these 7 different departments do their thing because they really do care.
Yeah.
And that's my
You know,
joy.
the nice thing about that too, when you come into the doors, on the right-hand side, there's a whole wall of little, what do you call them?
Tiles.
Tiles
Yeah.
that have donors' names. I mean, the wall is covered.
Yeah.
And that'll give you an idea of how much this town, city, donates,
Hmm.
plus other people, you know, probably all over the world, I'm sure. And they have
Well,
relatives
there's a
who
saying,
live
it takes a
here.
community, right?
Right.
Oh, yes.
And then, we always said when we're building what we built up is, much has been given to us, but as a staff members, we said, and we're responsible for a lot now. We
Yeah.
have to bring them the best quality senior center we can ever provide, because now it's on us. And we
Right.
said that building built, okay, now it's on us to make it happen. And that's such an important driving force for us. The community believes in us. The city is fantastic. They believe in us. The county believes in us. Okay, now we just have to provide great programming. And that's what we try to excel in.
Yeah, well, I think you are setting a great example. I think every senior center should use your achievements as a blueprint. Like, this is how this gets done.
Well, we believe everybody deserves it. And whether it be Antelope Valley or anything else, they all deserve good quality services for seniors, and our population's getting older. And we're on the
Absolutely.
rise. In 2030, we'll hit a peak
Yeah.
of seniors in this country, and they need the services, so we need to start getting it out for them and not accept anything less than high quality, because they deserve it.
Yep.
Our families deserve it.
Yes, and people are living a lot longer now than they used to.
And they're living longer. Happy
Yes.
88th birthday.
Oh,
and
thank you,
and
thank you.
their needs are changing too, Barbara, as you know that. And your
Yes.
needs from when you're in their 70s is different from now.
Absolutely.
And it keeps adjusting, right? Because you're getting
Absolutely.
different services now than you did 10 years ago that you
Oh,
probably didn't need
Good
services.
heavens. Good
And
heavens.
that's the beauty of it. It's ever-changing environment, and keep looking out to your customer who is a senior and saying, what will they need next? What's that next group of seniors going to need that we want to stay on top of and get ahead of?
Yeah.
It's a great challenge.
Yeah, it really is. There's always something new and exciting going over at the senior center. Kevin, how does somebody find you online?
Online, you go to their website at myscvcoa.org, or Barbara knows our phone number by heart.
661-259-9444.
Yeah, Kevin.
And call them.
Yeah.
Call them.
Kevin, thank you so much for everything you're doing over there and spending is this your lunch hour?
Sure.
With us. We appreciate you and everything you do over there. You've been listening to the Senior Hour, KHTS FM 98.1, AM 1220, hometownstation.com.
Welcome back to the Senior Hour. I'm Barbara Cochran with my co-host, Dr. Thomas Pilecki, on your hometown station, 98.1 FM 98.1 FM AM 1220 KHTS. And we're speaking with Kevin McDonald, who's the head honcho of the senior center up here. And what a honcho. You get a heck of a lot done.
Well, it's great to be with you both, and we appreciate you sending out to the community all the information that you do.
Of course.
We're spending this hour together, and it's such a vital, I think, that you're sharing that, and you're sharing that information, you're digging it out of the people you share with today. So thank you for doing that. And thanks
Oh,
for
thank you.
KHTS for being there for us all the time. It's really, really nice.
Yeah, of course. Anything we can do. It's a good cause, and you're doing a great job over there. So let's talk about that. We only have a few minutes left, so let's make it count.
Great. I want to read a letter, and I won't read the whole letter. It's from Chaplain Richard, who received some services from one of our staff, and he says, "In this day and age of low customer service, I wish to acknowledge the professionalism, knowledge, compassion, and caring for the clients of Senior Center Care Manager." Her name is Vicki Tamura. "I am a disabled senior, have a difficult time navigating different agencies in this stage of my illness. But Ms. Tamura and her knowledge, experience, and education showed me from one minute I met her, and she relates a compassion that excels the reward of a paycheck. I am semi-retired hospice chaplain for over 30 years of education experience. Who knows what I'm talking about? I felt compelled to recognize and report Ms. Tamura and her professionalism and care to me. I feel that there are many other clients that she has touched, and I just want to let you know she has touched me and my life so much. I understand the challenges of understaffing and time constraints, but these have not stopped Ms. Tamura from giving excellent service to me. Thank you for your time and consideration."
That's beautiful.
Wow, that's wonderful.
And a person who has given back, obviously, for 30 years as a hospice chaplain.
Yeah.
I mean, how tough is that?
Yeah.
And he's recognizing a social worker out of an agency he's probably never been to, but she has gone into his home and talked to him and tried to help him out. And that's kind of what life's all about.
Yeah.
If we can find those people
But,
and
but
those
what a
resources.
wonderful thing for him to do.
Yes, to send that letter and
to
that
send
note.
the letter.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
I
what
mean-
we do when people send a note or anything, before every single meeting at the senior center of our leadership team, we call it a mission moment. And people bring mission moments and stories that they have because it re-energizes us as a leadership team when we get
Oh,
together.
yes, absolutely.
And hearing that, and it just reinforces saying, keep going, go the extra mile for your client, no matter who they are, keep going, keep going, keep going. And that's what those mission moments. And now our board of directors, we have a wonderful board of directors of 13 members. We start out all of our board meetings with a mission moment.
I love it.
And that was talked to us by Suzanne Nelson, who you know has been with us for 37
Oh,
years.
yes, she's an
And
incredible lady.
it brings you back to your base, because I could be worrying about, you know, you're worried about 120 staff with all the
Sure.
challenges there, and the volunteers, and the funding sources, and you know, just the day-to-day operations of what's breaking down and what's happening in the parking lot, and all those little things that nag you during the day, and then it brings
Sure.
back, oh, let's bring it back. Let's bring it back to our mission. Let's bring it back why we all got into this service to begin with as a service, and why we chose these career paths that all 120 of us have chosen together to work as a team. And that's kind of special. So I want to thank the chaplain for writing that note.
Yeah.
And
I
the other
think that
small
was
notes we
wonderful.
get, you know,
Yes.
sometimes they're scribbly and we could hardly read them, but there's a notes that re-energizes our staff, and it really teaches me when I get a great service, I got to let them know. I got to do that extra thank you. And I'm doing that more and more whether I go to restaurants or wherever I go, to make sure we acknowledge really good service, because it's just a great reinforcer.
Yeah, acknowledgement is the key that brings sanity into any big process. Is inherently insane.
Yes.
Like it's a constant battle for your sanity, and I love that this is how you start every meeting.
Oh, absolutely. How long have you been with the senior center?
I joined 8 years ago. I came up.
Has it been 8
It's
years?
been 8 years, and just
Whoa.
thought I was going to be here for a little while to help build a building and get it going, but we built a building, we got it rolling, then we hit COVID.
Yeah.
And then the world stopped, and we said, there's a next challenge. And then we got through COVID, and then after COVID, it's like, okay, let's build this bigger and better, and let's
Absolutely.
diversify services, and let's meet the ever-changing. And I learned to love the Santa Clarita Valley community.
And you plan to stay here?
I plan to stay here. I'm having a
you
great
plan-
time, Barbara.
You-
Love
you
working
plan
with
to
our
stay at
seniors.
the senior center?
Yes, I plan to stay at the senior. Having a
Yeah.
great time.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I want to acknowledge you, Kevin McDonald, for the amazing job you're doing over there at the
Yes,
Senior Center. And thank you for
absolutely.
your time here today. We will help you any way you can. You've been listening to the Senior Hour at KHTS, FM 98.1, AM 1220, hometownstation.com. We're brought to you by Providence Holy Cross and Comfort Keepers Inn. Now go out and enhance your quality of life.